Okay, so to create your first Apex class, first you need to open the force.com IDE. To open the first force.com IDE, which is called as developer console, you just need to navigate to the setup icon and then click on developer console. Once you open the developer console, you will see this screen. To create your first Apex class, just go to the file, click on new, and here you see there are many options: Apex class, Apex trigger, Visual Force page, component, static resource, lightning application, lightning components, and many more. So first we'll just create on one Apex class. Now to create any Apex class, you just have to give a unique name which is not available in any, like, which is not available in your which is not already being created in your org. You cannot create two Apex classes with the same name. You cannot create two Apex classes with the same name. So make sure you are choosing the unique name. And also Apex class name cannot contain any spaces. So make sure you do not have any space in your Apex class name. So let's see my first name. Again, one more thing before writing this Apex class. From now onwards, from today only, just keep in your mind that Apex is a, just a minute. So Apex is case insensitive. What does this mean? Case insensitive means capital A equals to small a. If you write Aniket and if you write Aniket in capital, both are the same thing. So it means it is case insensitive. Another point is, in Apex we follow camel case characters. What does that mean? Again, it is not a compulsory requirement, but yes, it is a general practice which every Salesforce developer follows. So we follow the camel case characters. What does that mean? It means whenever you declare any variable, whenever you give a name to your Apex class or any component, the name should start with the small character. The name should start with small character, and then the next word should start with the, what say, capital character. It means if I'm giving my Apex class name as my first class, correct? So the first word in my first class is my. So my will be starting with small characters. Then the word is first. So the F of first will be capital. The rest of the word is small. My first class. The C of the class will be capital, and then everything is small. So this is what camel case character means. Correct? Make sure you do not have any spaces between your Apex class name. No spaces it would have. So let's say if I give it name as like this, my first class, this will throw me an error. The Apex class my first class is not a legal name. It means you should not have any spaces between the name. So let's create one new Apex class. Name it as my first class. So this is the camel case character where I have started this variable name with small characters, then capital character of the first word, capital character of the second word, right? My first class. Let's click on OK. So this is, you have created your first Apex class. Congratulations, your my first class has been created. Let's see any questions. No. Okay. So this is the basic syntax of every apex class you will find. You have not written this. Whenever you save your apex class with a name, whenever you create one apex class, give it a name and click on OK, this basic syntax will automatically get created. Correct? So first you'll have one apex class. So suppose it as a document. Correct? So this is one apex class. This is a complete document. Correct? And the basic syntax of the document is the class is public. Public is just an access modifier which we'll learn after this, like which we'll learn ahead of this training. Public class and then the name of the class. After that, you just need to write this curly braces, start, and then ends. Close this curly braces. Between these two curly braces, whatever you write is known as your class code. Correct? So you have created your first class like this. This is known as class. Now, to write any code in Salesforce in Apex, you just need to create one method in your Apex class. Correct? You cannot just write anything in this class. No, it is not allowed. It will throw you an error. To write anything, you first need to create one Apex method. Apex method. So class is a collection of different methods performing different functionalities. Correct? So suppose if I am creating one calculator class, let's say I'm creating one calculator class. So what it will do, it will consist of the methods which performs calculations, right? So let's say if I create one addition method, if I create an subtraction method, if I create a multiplication method, if I create a division method. So class is nothing but a group of or a group of different methods. Correct? So class is nothing but a group of different methods. So if you want to write anything, you cannot write anything without creating one apex method. And how to create apex method? There is a specific syntax. What syntax? First you need to write public, then you need to write static, then you need to write void, and then you need to write any name of your method, and then brackets, and again the curly braces open, curly braces close. So this is the basic syntax to write the apex methods. Apex methods. Now each word have a different meaning. Correct? This is not something we just wrote it. Correct? Just for the time pass. No, it is not working like this. Every word in this method declaration have a specific meaning. So public is nothing but your access modifier, which means who can access this class. If you have written public, it means anybody in your org can access this public method. If you write it as global, anybody in your in your managed package can use this class method. So we would not dive into the access modifier right now. We'll definitely have another session of access modifiers, but yes, for now just understand the first word is access modifier. Another word is static. Static means if you write static in your apex method, it means you do not need to create any instance of your class to call this method. What does that mean? Again, we will definitely have these things clear in the next sessions. Please do not worry what is static, what is public, what is void. We'll definitely clear everything step by step. For now, just understand that every word has a meaning. Now the third word is void. Void means that this method do not returns anything. Do not returns mean, so whenever you call this method, it will not return you any value, correct? This means void. Then the name of the method, so you can name anything, literally anything, to your apex method. Again, the apex method name should not contain any spaces, correct? So this is how you declare your method. Okay, so let's create one method with the name of let's say we should name it as hello world method. So okay, now you tell me how to create hello world method name, hello world method. Everybody write the syntax of hello world method, or let's say the method name should be my first method. Okay, so let's keep the method name as my first method, and now you tell me what should be the syntax. Okay, you just have 1 minute. You can use this screen for the reference. Okay, everybody, I'm waiting for your responses. Public static void my first method, correct? Public static void my first method, correct? Okay, first of all, Aniket and Kiran, you both are correct, but Aniket, make sure that you are following the camel case characters. Again, write your syntax with camel case character, Aniket. Make sure you always follow the camel case character in your Apex programming. This is the best practice we can follow. Writing the code is not a big deal, but maintaining the best practices is a big deal. Okay, anything else? Anybody else? Please write my first method. Correct, Harsha. Correct, Kiran. Correct, Aniket. Aniket, you are also correct, but yes, make sure that variable names, class names, method names should follow the camel case characters. Correct? Okay. Now let's create my first method. Public static void my first method. One more thing before going ahead, guys, let me be very clear to you. Everybody in this world can write the code, right? Everybody means whoever is the technical background can write the codes, but maintaining the best practices is the big deal, correct? What best practices I mean? uh, it means that your apex class, your apex methods, your apex variables should have a meaningful name. You should not write any random class name, any random method name, correct? The class name and the method name should, should have a meaning. It should not meaningless. You write anything, right? You can write your apex class as kachra. No, you should not write kachra, correct? Make sure that your variables, your apex class, your method names should have a legitimate meaning. That what just by reading the method name I should know that what this method is doing, right? So this is how you know follow the best practices and yes, create some great codes. Okay, public static my first method, correct, Aniket? Again, your f is small, I know. Okay, so here I have created one apex method which is public static void my first method. Again, let me explain you. Public is nothing but the access modifier, which means that who can or yes, who can access this method in your org. It If it is public, it means anybody can access your apex method. If it is private, it means only this class can see this method. No any other class. Like you cannot call this method in any other Apex class. So yes, definitely we will have another session of access modifiers. So do not worry. Then we have static, which means that to call this method, we do not need to create any instance of this class. Correct. Void means that this method do not returns anything. And then this is your Apex class, Apex method name. This is nothing but just an small brackets which can accept some parameters, but yes, for now we are not accepting any parameters in this Apex method. So this is how you create your Apex method. Every Apex method should be in Apex class. You cannot directly create any Apex method. Correct. Every Apex method should be in a class. Okay, now how to print what's a hello world. So we cannot just write hello world and it will get printed, right? This is not how it works. If you save this class, this will throw you an error. Correct. See error. Yeah, and you can see all your errors in the problems tab over here. If you see missing something variable does not exist, hello world. So this is not how you print anything in your Apex class. There is a specific syntax to print or to give the command to print the things. Correct. So there is a specific syntax. Is anybody aware of how to print any string or anything in any of the languages? You can write of any other languages, no Apex needed. If you know Python, just let me know how to print things in Python. If you know Java, let me know how to print things in Java in Apex. Aniket, I'll definitely let you know how to print in Apex, but yes, is anybody aware about any other programming language? System.debug. Correct, Aniket. Okay, let me start a poll. Uh, so, do you guys know any other programming languages? Yes. Who has voted yes? Yes. Great. Printf, C++, correct. Okay, 3 votes. Okay. So if you are aware about any other programming language, you know that how to print things, how to debug things, correct? Select hello world SQL. No, Harsha. SQL is not used to print things, but SQL is used to bring the data from the database. Okay. So just focus on this screen. How to debug things in Apex, how to print things in Apex. So there is a specific syntax for this, which is system dot debug and this system dot debug hello world. This is the syntax to print anything in Apex. So system is a standard class created by Salesforce. Debug is a method in system class. So system is a class, debug is a method which takes a parameter of string. So this is how you uh, print the things in Salesforce in Apex. How? System.debug in smaller brackets. You just need to type whatever you need to print. So if you want to print your name, just put your name into single braces, not double. correct? Apex always use single braces, single, what say, the upper commas, correct? So this is how you print hello world or anything in Apex. Now how to see where to how to type, or let's say how to call this Apex method to print hello world. So first make sure that you save this class. How to save this class? Just press Ctrl S, or you can save it from here as well. File and then save. Ctrl S. Once you save, this will remove the star mark. Okay, let me tell you one thing. If this class has any unsaved changes, it will show you in star here, correct? Once you click on once you save this class, let's press Ctrl S, saving, and see, the star has gone. It means that this class has successfully saved without any compile time error, and there's no problems in this class. There's no problem saving the class, correct? Now how to call this method, how to call this class, how to print this hello world? We have just written this hello world. How to print it now? Correct. Anybody else? Print ln in Java, correct, Aniket? In Apex we write system.debug. Okay, to call this class, just press Ctrl plus E, or let's say just go to test, no, just go to debug option over here and click on open execute anonymous window. Click on open execute anonymous window. You'll get this pop-up window. This is called as anonymous window. This is called as ano anonymous. I'm not sure whether the spelling is correct or not, but yes, this is known as anonymous window. So what is the use of anonymous window? If you want to call this class just for the testing, whether you have written the correct code or not, so you just need to go to this anonymous window and call your Apex class here. How to call Apex class or Apex method? How to call this method? You just need to write your Apex class name dot my first method and this bracket and semicolon. Again guys, every Apex class line means not the class level, not the method level, but the logical lines should have the uh, colons in the end. So if you put a semicolon here, it means this line has ended here. The compiler should know that where the line got ended, correct? That's why we write this semicolon. If you remove this semicolon, this will throw you an error. Okay, now let's call this my first class dot my first method. How? The class name dot method name. The same thing we have done here, the class name dot method name, but this is the standard class provided by Salesforce itself, so we do not need to worry that what is happening in debug, correct? Okay, so just the class name dot method name, class name dot method name. Now just click on execute and click. Okay, do not click on open log, I'll let you know what is it. Okay, just click on execute. So it got executed. Now go to the logs to see whether it got printed or not. You see there is a log created. Open this, double click on this. Now this has so many things, correct? Uh, so whenever you execute any Apex class, so many things gets executed in the backend, correct? But we just need to know our debug log. So just click on debug only. There is a checkbox of debug only. Click on this and see, you'll get hello world here, correct? This is showing you a line number 5. See, line number 5. So this is the line number, and this is the source of this hello world debug. We have put it down the debug and the hello world. What if I write Krazy Cloud here. Just save this class, open your anonymous window and click on execute. You will get one another log created here. See, this has been read by us, the unread mark gone here, and it is yet unread. So let's read this. Click on debug only to see your logs and see Krazy Cloud. Correct. So this is how you create your first Apex class, your first Apex method, your first Hello World program. Now open anonymous window. So when I clicked on execute to open the logs, I just needed to go to the logs tab and open the log, open the the latest log here. Correct. What if I do not want to perform these steps? Just click on this open log. This will directly open your log, uh, whatever being created by this Apex, this execution. This will automatically open that log. So let's click on execute and see the log has been opened. Now, if you just need to click on debug only and again Krazy Cloud. Correct. One more thing. Let's say I don't want to call this Apex method. Just write this. This will also work. But now there are two lines. Correct. But I I only wanted to perform this line. If I click on execute, this will call both of the lines. First, this class, this method will get called, so Krazy Cloud will get printed. Then the execution will go to the second line. Second line is blank. Then the execution will go to the third line and print the Krazy Cloud again. So if I click on execute, the Krazy Cloud will get printed two times. See, Krazy Cloud, Krazy Cloud. Correct. What if I wanted to execute only this line? I don't want to execute this Apex method. So what to do? Either just remove this the first way, but I just wanted to show you functionality. That's why I'm not removing this. Just select this line and click on execute highlighted. So this just made this as highlighted. Click on execute highlighted and now you will only get one Krazy Cloud printed. Correct. So this is how anonymous window works. Let me just close these logs. So this is how anonymous window looks like, and this is how anonymous window works. Anybody have any question? Please feel free to ask in the comment sections. You should not have any doubt taking home, right? Make sure to clear all the doubts in the class itself so that you can practice your things into after this class. Correct?